The light was freaking out yesterday. Also, I don't know about the audio. And I'm going to turn on one more light here. I've got the most hillbilly audio setup going so that hopefully I can hear a little bit and you can hear a little bit. But from now on, until I can figure out something in my shop, I need to talk with Vince Walty from seethestorm.net, Storm Chaser, Vince Walty project, whether I, because he's got some really cool stuff going on in his setup. Granted, I don't have any budget, but he does all his stuff on a very tight budget as well, and creates a lot of his own stuff. So I know with just a little bit of practice, I can pull this off much better, delivering more value to the audience. Yeah, the propane's getting low. You smell it. I should have called them today. But we need Christmas to come a little early. So we're going to put the mid shaft in down here. I just want to wipe it off. Got to wipe. We'll try to keep it clean here a couple of Christmas Eve. It's got a pretty cool sealed bearing in there. A NSK. Cool. And we've got 3 shorties for that. 3 little shorties are going to go in there. And it goes through the oil pan. Maybe. I took it out without having to do anything fancy. And then I got a little confident that I'd be able to sneak it in there. We're not going to give up yet. Oh, it's right there. Not really. I'm sure I'll get some Infiniti Nissan people that can make massive amounts of fun of me. I might just have to raise it up a little bit here. I didn't tighten that up because of that. I think if I just tilt the motor up just a tad. And again, if the music's blaring, let me know. I can't tell. I'm so sorry for giving such a poor quality. I can't control the music, so to speak. I can, but I just need to move the microphone a little further away from the speaker. You might not hear it at all. You might not hear me at all either. I'm going to be getting a new microphone soon. Yeah, that's not gonna, I think we can get it without doing anything. We just need to, it's so close. Let's just try this puzzle. It's like right, what's holding me up? Oh, it's like this motor mount right here is just, see, it's these little things that I should have, oh, that might have actually helped. Oh, look at there. Perfect. There was a little sleeve or something that was holding me up. Nice. Oh, that's awesome. I'll go ahead and get that out of there. Put this back here. Nice there. 1, 2. And then we'll put our starter in next. One more. That's going to go down. Okay, we'll tighten those up. I know, right, Salty? I just need to put a seat right here. And then maybe we could mount some type of a uni-link with like a pivot here and then a set of handlebars. That'd be a pretty actually interesting build for you, eh? There's a Michigan build, except I wouldn't do it with this over-engineered contraption. Hell nah. But yeah, I mean, it works in a time of need. I did check the weight rating and stuff. The lift is shadily rated at 1,000. And then the engine is 400 shipping weight. Trans is like, all said and done, we're pushing the barrier, but it works fine. It goes up and down, but I got the safety pin in there, as you can see, and I haven't put any strain on the hydraulics. Like, it's just I'm just using it as a table. But yeah, the engine shipping weight, long block, 400 is what the people say. It felt like a lot more in my car. Subframe probably 100, you know, rack 40, miscellaneous aluminum parts another 100, trans T case 300. Yeah, we're probably 1,100 max. But yeah, it is funny. Hey Schmoke, hope you're doing good today, man. And I am sorry to hear about the late YouTuber who passed yesterday. I didn't mean to jumble that all up in the live stream. I thought for some reason somebody banned someone with that name as like so, or modded them, and I was unaware. So I hope you appreciate or can understand my sentiment when I say that. And you know how things can get misconstrued in live streams. Like Salty doesn't recognize this motorcycle that's on this motorcycle lift. Come on. You've never seen this model? So things can get misconstrued. Hope everybody's doing good. And timing, isn't timing everything? Timing can also be a really great thing well, we're all on the clock, so to speak. I'd rather be on it than off it. So I got my new boot. I got a new boot. We put the new boot on. It had a torn boot. I did end up paying an insane amount, but it's the right one. And these have this recessed rubber in them. So they're kind of, and it came with the clams, a big tube of goo, and 6 pre-Loctited bolts that say they're made in Japan. So that's pretty cool. I might do a separate little video on that, because by the time I would have drove to get a used one, it would have costed me like a couple $100 with the part. And if I would have bought a new, or a remit, whatever they sell on the interwebs, it would have got, I wanted it today so I could just button it up. And the dealership had it, and the dealer's like 25 minutes away. I literally left my car running in the parking lot, got out, walked through their doors, walked up to the counter, said the name, walked out, got in my running vehicle, and drove away. So it was pretty slick. And I was within like 15 minutes of the area because I had to give my neighbor Rob a ride to work because he left his car at work because the parts guy and him left early so he could go get his Oshkosh yesterday. So it worked out even a little bit better than, you got to like it when a plan comes together. But before we put the axle in, we're going to sneak the starter down in here. I'll try to get a good view instead of people are just looking at a blank screen, but we're not. And then the flywheel bolts are not accessible through this portal. Through that porthole, there's a different porthole underneath that we can access the flywheel to torque converter bolts through that portal. This one is strictly for the starter. No matter how you spin it, you can't see them. So we're gonna zippity-doo-dah the starter in there, and I need to find the little signal wire. This is just the main juice wire right here. There's also another field, the other wire, solenoid. And that's gonna, I think that comes from this transmission. Yes, it does. Here we go. This does go to the starter because it's got this heat stuff on it here. Our AC compressor is hooked up. So I'm going to wait on looming this harness until I see where it's going to line up with the starter because my brain doesn't remember. Sick needs that van fixed, but man, that van seems roached. I don't know. I mean, if it's rust free, if it's a Florida van, it's probably, are they pretty rust free down there? I don't know. And I'm naive when it comes to that. So I apologize. Holy cow, I missed a lot of brown chicken. Dropped it in the chat, LOL. Okay, yep. Damn it, Carrie, you don't ever YouTuber ab. What's that mean? You don't ever YouTuber ab. In another news, look, Mom, no computer, just did a live synthesizer jam with Christmas music off his phone. Sick needs that van fixed. Yeah, I know. I would maybe an afternoon of work. Yeah, I mean the axles on it can't be that. hey, wait, you can't just bring up an Oshkosh without more info, just skipping over it nonchalant like it's not proper. He bought another MH906, just like his V-Plow. He bought it closer to home, drove it home last night, 3 hours at 35 miles an hour on all roads he felt necessary to drive on. Yeah, and we did a quick, super little, maybe we probably weren't even on Motos Live for a full minute this morning, just because we were strapped for time. I wasn't sure how the signal was, and it was pretty darn cold. So we're going to do a little video. I'm going to release a little teaser at some point as soon as we get this project done, and then we'll do a more in-depth video. Maybe have both of them side by side, you know, do some cool video that way, because people sure love those things, and they're just massive and so utilitarian. And both of his Oshkosh were built, outfitted, and have never left this state. Now, the engines being Cummins, I would assume were trucked in or, you know, trained in the 60s. But other than that, that truck was manufactured, outfitted, and has lived its whole life, both of them in Wisconsin, which is pretty cool. And neither of them are that rotted out or rotted at all. I mean, I'm sure there's a little rust here, and you know, this one that he got is pretty solid, and it's got a dump box, and the plow tilts back and forth, whereas his old one you have to get out and move the plow. It's got a 12-foot V-plow, or a 12-foot straight blade. It's about 4 feet tall in the front. Really big V-plow. I'm sorry. His new one does not have a V-plow. I keep saying that. His new one has a really nice hydraulic front blade that's usable. Hey, Go Fast. Hope you're doing good. Colin, hope you're doing good. Or Tom, hey Tom, editing but lurking. I think, is that Colin living the dream? I'm sorry if that's Tom, or if I get names mixed up, I'm sorry. So yeah, hopefully that's enough for you, Salty Badger. At the moment, I don't really have much more, other than I did some video this morning. So yeah, we'll release something tonight. Maybe a Christmas Day live special. I don't know if his kids come home and they go for a drive. Maybe we'll meet them outside. I want to try to get some outdoor wireless going, so when I walk outside, my mics and stuff all stay connected. If I can figure that out, that would be cool. The last time I just literally took my router and put it in the middle of the yard, and it worked pretty good. But I don't want to have to take the LAN cable and 150 feet of LAN cable, 150 feet of extension cord was a production, we'll say that. You can just, I'm off on the comments. Yes, it is my name, Colin Thomas. Oh, cool. Awesome. I'm not wrong. That's cool. Hashtag me too at Rob's neighbor. Schmoke. I don't know what we're me tooing. I'm sorry, man. I'm always so behind. If your name is I don't even know your name, Schmoke, honestly, and that might be okay. But if you want it to be called by your name, let me know. I would love to know your name. Go Fast. I think I remember his name, but I don't know it. Schmoke says me too. Wireless extension. Mwah. Yes, cool. Names can be released at the time of shaking a hand. And then I'll still call you Schmoke. Top secret. Have to move some things around to restack it indoors today, Go Fast says. Yeah, how's it going out? You're Southern Cali, Ford. Good to see you in here, man. Good to see you. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm standing behind the phone reading the comments when I could be showing you me. Oh, a pallet of 5 gallon. Nice. Nice. Always good when you get some VP fuel. Are you going to be in the monsoons that are headed to California? I think you said you're pretty southern, so will you be involved in any of that rain? Go fast. And just a fair warning, school is out for the day. Spring or Christmas break has started. If I was a week ahead of schedule on this car, I could possibly be road tripping to Florida and invade the properties of so many YouTubers on the way. That might be for March. So, oh my God, I cannot wait to get this thing done so I can show you guys this pressure washer I found. I cannot wait to use this thing. I'm going to use it on so much. I might even use it cleaning this dirt bike just for the hell of it, just to show everybody how good it works. So stick around for that. I'm so freaking excited. It's amazing how good this little turd works. You wouldn't think a little battery operated thing like that would work amazing, but it really, really does. Anyway, I keep thinking about that because I keep seeing all this CV boot grease. You see all the speckles, all these speckles and like this, and it's just all CV boot grease. It's a really nice clean subframe, and that quite honestly protected it from any corrosion, a good anti-corrosion. I forgot where I put the starter. If the music is too annoying or whatever, let me know if you can even hear it. I figured somebody would say something by now if it was, but it even coated the starter pretty good too. Makes it look almost like the car has an oil leak. This one doesn't, or won't. This motor looks really clean. And I've got, oh my God, did I put the old motor back in it? Was getting it confused? Wouldn't that suck? I didn't. But that would really suck if I was like doing a live stream and got so like talking, you know, like I normally do, and then ended up putting the old motor back in it after taking it out, and then realizing that I never put the original one in it. That would be a dumb move, huh? Or like putting a Harley all together, an engine all together, and then never putting the primary chain in it, like just completely not putting the primary chain in. It's got a little bracket that goes down on the bottom, and I gotta swap it there. There we go. You can see where it was living, and then that's gonna loom our starter wire in. We still have to tighten our 312s for our plate. We'll just tighten everything. We'll do these 214s. There we go. And then our 12s. You need a repeater or range extender, Rob. Oh, yes, we do for the Wi-Fi. Have to move some things around. Wireless. Go fast. Are you near Durana Raceway? Yeah, it's just rain. We're going to hit hard winds today, heavy rain tomorrow. Go fast. Durana Raceway, Drags, Michigan. Go fast says Millen Dragway. Schmoke says you have to watch Puddin's Fab Shop to learn how to properly film a pressure washing video. I will. ROFTLMAO. Schmoke is on his floor rolling and laughing, which is awesome. Schmoke, I want to get on my floor and roll and laugh. And I might if this engine doesn't run. In Southern California, not Michigan. Go Fast is in Southern Cali. Ford Mila says, yeah, Drag Boss Garage, Tim Halstead Spelling, lives nearby. He buys 118 octane VP. Fighting a fuel pump in a barn find 85 F250 with a 460, 980 Original miles gas was, oh, that's cool. The junkyard down the road just got like an 84-ish C10 with a 6.2 diesel 2-wheel drive from California, and it had been sitting in a guy's barn here for like 15 years. And it purrs like a kitten. I won't do anything, but here at Ford, so you can put a link in there. And Salty, if you want a moderator, let me know. So you can drop links, but I don't think you really care. But if you do, let me know. I know it messes with our shorts, and you do shorts. So want a Carter electric for under $50. Doesn't that have the cool side pump? One that runs off that like little push rod off the camshaft. That's so cool. I loved that. When I was a kid and found out that's how fuel pumps worked on older V8s, I was like, that is so cool. Little diaphragm in there, just pumping away. So we need a 12 wobble. What in Lord's name is this music? Oh boy, we got to change that quick. Why are they recommending any? I don't mind Christmas music, I guess. Like, I expect it when I go into a store, but there it is again. What in the... Oh Lord. Okay, it must have went into some kind of a Christmas music. I want jazz. Not cinematic. No. Not cinematic. Genre. Indie pop. We'll just try that. Oh. We'll just leave it there for a minute. All right. I'm going to tighten up some nuts and bolts. I'm going to back the camera back out and turn the flash off so the battery doesn't wear down on this Nikon DSL. Hey, it's Sterling Wheel. Hope you're doing good. We're just wrapping up this little package to set the car on top of it, put some nuts on it. I was just talking to the chat about how bad it would suck if I took this motor out and then I put in the wrong one. That would be really, I mean, you'd have to realize it. I wonder if anybody's done that. I had a buddy that was really hungover one morning once, and he was changing oil on his Honda CB 550 4-cylinder. And after like 3.5 quarts of oil, he said that nothing was showing up in the window. And I said, I'll just pour a little bit more in, you know? And he's like, I just poured another full quart in and nothing. And sometimes the oil's so clear, you can't quite see it right. I went over and I looked, and he never put the drain plug in it. And the drain pan was pert near over full with 8 quarts of oil from the original and then the 4 that he had just put in it. So I thought that was pretty funny. And then at the dealership, a tech double filled an SR20. Sterling Wheel knows what the SR20 is for race wars. They came in the Infiniti G20, very underpowered though, in a naturally aspirated form, but unbreakable. And they take 3.75 quarts of oil with the filter per manual factory. And the tech put, you know, we always just went 4 even and sent it. But the tech double filled it doing a safety, or no, doing like a maintenance. And then they brought it back like a few months later complaining about low power and bad mileage. And we looked at things, but nobody checked the oil. And then like 3 months later, it came in and went through used car safety inspection because they got sick of it, thought something was wrong with it. And the tech that originally double filled it was draining the oil. And we were kind of talking, it was a slow day. And we're all like, man, that oil should not still be draining. It just kept coming and coming. And so that's why it was traded in for that reason, I believe. But other than that, those are about the 2 biggest, craziest things I've seen. Next for the agenda is a Trans and an Accord, followed by a Trans and an Odyssey. Just wrote the check for 2 Honda remands checks. That hurt the old pocketbook. Ouch. Yeah, I have not done a Honda Trans in a while for some reason, and that's, I guess, okay. They're okay though. I've got that support bar to hang, you know, if I ever need to hang a motor. And the trannies on those, don't you hang the motor on those, or does the subframe kind of help support the motor? I've done probably only about 6 or 9 trannies. I've only done about 6 or 9 trannies. Living the dream. I love the tie-dye. Oh, thanks. I just found that, and I've got a whole bunch more. I've honestly got a lot of Pirelli and Michelin and Spectro and cool flags or like banners to put up. Once I get to Cali, they already have a load going to Ohio. Perfect. Ohio, the Ohio Valley. Heck, once you get there, it still might be nice and warm. Hopefully the cold doesn't follow it in. Let's see. I missed a whole bunch here. Salty. I have enough wrenches unless it's a 10. Yeah, that's funny. My son was working on his CR80 the other day, changing the trans fluid. And boy, a lot of tranny talk today. And he came over. I think there's a 10. Yeah, there's a 10 plug on the side. You pull that plug out and then you wait for the oil to drip out. There's no sight glass or dipstick. And he's over in the toolbox and he's looking for a 10. And he's like, "It really is true, Dad." And I go, "What's that?" He goes, "The whole 10 millimeter thing." And I said, it really is true, bud. And so I just I even buy like a handful of Amazon 10s and 8s just to have extra, like just chromies and everything. They still, the little shop gnomes love to eat them. Smoke says hi to Sterling. When I worked at a Dodge, I had a new 99 Ram come in, Salty says, with a miss. During a new car inspection, it had a miss. Upon inspection, had 0 compression on cylinder 7. Put a camera in and no piston or rod. No way. They took it out and then drove it there. Wouldn't that like drastically drop the oil pressure? Would you have to put like a hose clamp over the oil? You know, the oil hole in the crankshaft for it to not just lose total oil pressure, but maybe depending on where it is in proportion to the pump. That's crazy. No, those cheating bastards. Smoke says, "I have the 10s and the lighters." Nice. Salty says, "Good afternoon to Sterling." Ford dropped a link for the Black Lab Garage. Is that a Cybertruck engine? Smooth Operator 1383. No, it's not. It's a VQ37 for the Nissan Infiniti. I think it was only on the Infiniti line, though. I don't think the Ultimas or maybe the Pathfinders or something. They might have gotten the 3.7, but I don't think they got the VVEL, the variable valve event lift. Possibly. I don't care enough to know. Honestly, it was brand new. Oh, geez. So they forgot. Oh, so it was a PDI, like a pre-delivery inspection off the semi, not like, hey, I'm bringing this Ram in for a trade-in on a new one, because then they would instantly know. No shit. So it made it. I could see that totally see that. So in 12 years with Infiniti, the only problem we ever had one time was a wheel bearing for an FX35. The guy had drove from like Minneapolis or something. We had pre-ordered it for the all-wheel drive, and it came and there were no splines. It was just a smooth hole. And if it was but there was no other ones like available, so they had to overnight one with splines, and that was the biggest problem I ever experienced with Infinity ever. Everything else, it came from Japan, man. They don't. There's like there were no mistakes then, and the CEO wasn't on the run and all embezzling crazy. They were building pretty decent stuff, especially from like I would say from 90 all the way up until about this era. And then things after 2014 just went downhill. Went downhill like a rock. Or a ball, I don't know. It went downhill fast. So, Western Mass Climbers in here. Good to see you, Westy. The shop gnomes, Westy. You have tree gnomes when you're up in the trees? Do the tree gnomes ever mess with you? Because I tell you what, they're everywhere. The underpants gnomes. Step one. So we need a 14 and a 12 wobble. I've got to take, I was going to say earlier, this could end at any moment because my son is on Christmas break and he's got to go to the school again. I should keep track of my mileage. I drive a lot of miles locally. A lot of miles locally. That's why a fun little micro car would be cool. But in the winter, it would suck. So I guess I could have a big car for in the winter and like a cappuccino. Something I can barely fit in and that people point and make fun of me when I drive. Or a Toyota RAV4 with a V8 that I could just finish. That would be cool. So all in time, I used to have a city car, a mint, uncracked plastic, beautiful windshield, untouched by anyone, really, barn find, literal barn find with like no miles. City car, the little two-door cheese wedge city car, and I've got some footage of it, but I wasn't thinking about doing anything content-wise with it. And then I thought about the logistics and just even the police in town are just always on everybody. We live in a little sleeper town, and yeah, the police are just on everybody. It's right there. I just need to get my hand out of the way. Nope. Different angle. I'm trying to do it so you guys can see it too, and that's what screws it up. So I don't know. We'll get something fun and little. I missed out on that RD yesterday. It ended up selling then that RD 400 for $500. But again, it's all about timing. If it was meant to be, it was meant to be. Who knows? The guy might message me tomorrow and say, yeah, the flake never showed. So you just never know. That's what happened with that city car. Thing was on Facebook for like 2 months. Forgot about it completely. The dude was like, hey, $300 today. Okay. Boom. Truck trailer gone. I even put it in an enclosed trailer to get it home. So that was cool. And then I sold it for $1,300, so I didn't lose on it. But I could have made some really cool content and probably had a little bit of fun, but it drove on trailer, like a little 12-inch trailer tires and 35-mile-an-hour top speed. Even going to town and back would turn into a half-hour trip one way. It would be an hour there and back. With a car, it's like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? There it is. I was looking for the axle. And we can access our starter wires really easily. And I think if I just, you know what, I might just wait until this is in the car, because it'll be so much easier for me to pull out on this control arm when there's not when this all isn't, when this is just hanging, this will be a lot easier. And it's not going to be any harder to do in the car at all. Probably be easier because it'll be at my level then. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to work a little smarter today and a little less harder, which I don't know. Hard for me to do sometimes. 10mm socket or spanner hide and seek champion. Yeah. The spanner wrenches will disappear too if you don't use them enough. You just have squirrels up there. Do they ever mess with you? Westy, have you ever been attacked by a tree rat? We got a new Viper in for a customer. Owner's son was the service advisor. He pulled it out of the shop and hammered it. The car went sideways and took out 3 new Caravans and hit the billboard pole, sheared it off, and fell into the road, crushing a car sitting at the light with a family in it. Oh my God. I hope they were okay. Jesus, Lord, that's like a total domino effect. Just shit canned it. Brand new, done deal. Will it cost me to replace piston rods and bearings in my Cherokee? I have no idea. Because I would just pull your motor and then take it to a machine shop, and then they would estimate it, or I would just recommend we get a good used engine. That's crazy. I guess there was a service writer. We were getting new hoists, and she was backing out a G35 like this 4-door, and we had new hoists, and they were laying on the side on the ground along the dealer, and you couldn't quite see them, and she was backing out of my bay because it was a waiter, and she crushed the rear bumper into that sticking up part of the hoist as it was laying on the ground. The person that owned the car was an insurance adjuster and was very compassionate about the issue, and there was nothing else. But that's about it for the... Oh, no, one guy had a little attack, I guess, and then hit another employee while they were both on test drives, but nothing too crazy. I don't know, Ford. I'm not going to click on it because I'm not on a phone, so I can't verify. Mr. Branch says VQ motor. Love it. Yes, they are a great engine. I really think they are. The VVEL is kind of maybe their weak link on this one, but they're 3-liter, 3.5s. Even the 3.7 is a really good motor. I had a squirrel jump out of a hole and land on my full speed spinning chain. Somehow he didn't get cut. He just got absolutely launched. Whoa. Especially if it was a longer blade. But if you were up in the tree, I'm guessing you don't probably have like 36-inch blades. But either way, that's like an instant jumping on a... What are those things that people exercise on? The hamster wheels with the tread that goes around. A treadmill. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yes, that VC, I don't know anything about it, but the variable compression stuff is insanely silly. 99 cents, I couldn't refuse at Schmokes. Nice, the little graphic thingy, is that what that is, Brown Chicken? I haven't been on and done anything with anything. No, I did not flush a torque converter. I didn't even touch it. I did drain the trans though, just in case. I'm gonna put like 3 or 4 new quarts in it, and that's about all I'm gonna do. She's a flipper. She's a rock star. She's yeah. No reason. If I was gonna keep it, then maybe, but I don't want to risk narfing up the torque converter seal. 14-inch bar, but the speed, yeah, no doubt. I bet you that thing is smoking along. Schmokes Shop says, such a bargain. Ford wants Salty to do a screenshot of his comment, so he gets that link. Hopefully he does that. Sterling, I hope your travels go well if you're still out there listening. I really appreciate everybody stopping in to say hi. I can't make this any more exciting if I tried. I guess I could. We could dump it off the lift. So we've done that. We could hook up our starter wire quick. And then I've got some brackets on the transmission we need to hook up because I took all the old wiring harness, a rodent had gotten very mad, and tore up a lot of stuff. But the new engine came with a new harness, which is awesome. However, I didn't pay attention and I took off all the little metal tabs that hold it on, and I don't think they left the metal tabs on, but no, they didn't, because I've already routed the wiring where it needs to go. There's like 50 million little Nissan little metal 10 mil. If you know, you know. I'll just leave it at that. So I'm going to come over here and get those. Here's an example of the harness. I can't tilt the phone too much. And it's like that in various spots. Just on this, though, the rest of the car, nothing else is touched. And it's funny, the accessible stuff that you'd think would be all chewed up isn't. So, but I want it to be, I want those brackets to be in the right spots. He was in the chat, Brown Chicken. He is, I believe, very close. And when he gets there, they've already got a load ready for Ohio. Yes, you bet, Ford. Mr. Branch says, damn, that's nasty. Yeah, could you imagine, like, wouldn't that hurt your teeth? Like, I know they're different than we are and they're built differently, but they still have roots that go into their gums, and they have to have some kind of sensories, and they have to have gums. I could just, like, no matter what animal I'm thinking of, I don't think, I mean, rats are pretty resilient in that way. A squirrel as well. And maybe I'm just a complete city fool for thinking that that their dental structure is at all similar to ours, but I would still think that they're wired to the point where, hey, I'm biting on this, nothing is happening, it's not benefiting me, I should stop. But they don't. They just keep chewing and chewing and chewing. Thankfully, Nissan has been pretty good about not using a lot of soy products and corn oils and bean spreads and sprouts in their wiring, because Ford got together with PETA and said, hey, we're going to wrap all our wiring harnesses in soy-based Canadian hockey tape. And once they did that, at least my observation on Fords has been a lot of electrical problems that stem from chewed up wires. And it's generally from people that park outdoors. Boy, this is going to take a little while if this is how, okay. Or a garage that's not super mouse, like, protected. The animal will like to go up into the engine bay. You pull your car in. It's nice and warm. Here's one of these brackets I was talking about. This one goes here, I believe. No, down here. The looms are all missing on the new harness, so at least it's not chewed. And I can always just zip tie it to the back of here. It'll be fine. We're not going for SEMA. And so I think that one will go there. I can just judge it too by how far they're based off the harness. Yeah, that's, well, maybe not. Let's get this one off and see. These things are a lot easier to do, I would say, now than it's all just right in front of you. Plus, I'd like to do a video of it here before I put it up in there, and I'll record some kind of a video. I'm going to try to live stream less unless I can do mindless, productive things, because a lot of times it just distracts me and I don't focus like I normally would. Not that I ever normally focus all that good anyway. And it's a lot harder to focus when your son is blaring bass-infested music from the house that I can feel in my shop. I'm sure he's just motivated on the dishes or doing laundry and just rocking out, you know? Just motivated. And if that was the case, I wouldn't care so much. But sadly, it's not the case. Who had the chair? Westy, WMC, Western Mass Climber, had the Cherokee question. Yes, you did, Brown Chicken. We were on Moto's show for about 38 seconds this morning. He drove it home from Racine. So Racine to basically Madison, for lack of geographical knowledge. So yeah, he drove that from there to there. He paid less for this one. I think he feels like it's a better deal. I do too. It doesn't have the big V plow, although the big V plow is just a total end of times thing. It's completely unnecessary here in Wisconsin for any snow removal. It would be literally an end of time situation when that thing would need to be used. But it'd stop a lot of lead or deflect a lot of lead, especially with the curvature of the blade. Not an API or anything like that, but it's a pretty cool blade. And this one's a 64. His other one's a 62. They both have the Cummins B12. I don't know. It's a 12-liter naturally aspirated 6-cylinder diesel. This new one, though, has a hydraulic tilt bucket or a box, hydraulic tilt box, and a hydraulically operated front blade, so he can move his front blade any direction he wants. Mr. Branch, Rob, would you buy a 2015 Q50 with a $140? I had a G35 03 and loved it. Yes, the G35s were amazing. I worked at Infinity when they came out in 03, and it was such a cool time. Such a cool time. With that being said, I would just be concerned that with 140, these 3.7s do, if the oil changes haven't been done and they've been pounded on this variable valve event lift system, which I'm going to do a complete disassembly of this engine so we can all see what kind of magic and little crystal balls roll around inside of there to keep everything from not hitting. And that's their problem, is they do eventually hit. This one, though, was piss pounded by a young kid. It's got full exhaust with no cats, full ARK exhaust with test pipes, and I'm sure he just beat it relentlessly. And when you get in this car, you turn it on, the maintenance reminder instantly like zings to the red and says 10,000 miles. He went so far over. The oil that came out of this was very, very overdue. So with that being said, I'm going to continue on my bracketry journey here. We're going to get this situated so we can, I'm going to zip tie to there. This I'm going to zip tie to here. Oh, someone put a bolt in here. So that will go like there. And here comes my son. That'll go like there. Hey, what's up? Oh, well, thank you. That I think goes like that. And then this one here. Okay. It's 230 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Jiminy Crickets.
Oh, and then you know that 37 mil bullet we have in the house?
37 millimeter bullet. That would be awesome. That casing, yep.
Yeah.
What about it?
What year was World War II? World War II.
39. I don't know the exact dates, but I want to say like 40 to 44, 39 to 44. Yeah. How old is it?
Those were mainly, they stopped in the 50s with that bullet.
Production.
There's an M3 anti-tank round.
An M3 anti-tank round. Why are you huffing and puffing like you just ran a marathon? Our driveway is sheer ice.
No.
So you know that. Why would you run
they
like...
mostly used them in 39 and 1919. So that one's
Jeez.
probably a 1920s.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that is. Why did you decide to research that? Just curious.
I don't know. One of my friends showed me a photo of a 50 mil, like a
50 BMG.
Yeah,
like, oh, yeah.
still big, but
Oh, they're huge. Yeah.
And they're like, "You got anything?" So I showed them
Oh, you're
that.
comparing bullet
The
sizes.
funny thing is, the primer on that, Dad,
Yeah.
I lined it up with a 9 mil.
Okay.
The primer on that is a 9 mil.
Oh, just the primer is the full size of the dimensions of a 9 mm. And the length, the primer sticks in that. Oh, it weighs like a pound, just the case. It's probably like a pound of brass. 2 or 3. Wow.
That whole thing it's even longer than a 9 mil. But the circular.
Yeah, sure. Jeez, that's huge, dude.
9 mils have a lot of torque, you could say.
They've got a little bit of a pop.
Because I was shooting the 22.
Little pop. Yeah.
At Dad's.
Okay.
Then he gave me the 9 mil so I could shoot it.
Yep. Oh, night and day difference from a 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, night and day.
They are. You gotta have a good stance with that 9 mil.
A good grip.
And a decent stance.
Stance. Yep, you want to have a good stance. Yep.
Especially with that AR.
Oh, yeah.
And full auto.
Full auto. That's awesome. Okay, I think that's going to be good.
Okay, so it's 235. I'll come out in like 10.
Yeah, or you could start the car in like 10. I know it's a little warm, but yeah, you could start the car in like 10. All right, we're going to wind it up here, or wind it down. So, yeah, I mean, Mr. Branch, what are they asking for the 2015 Q50? Because it's funny you say that. This motor is actually out of a 2016 Q50 going in a 2013 G37, but it works. Brown chicken, what temperature is it by us? I will look and see. Definitely warming up. It's feeling good out there, I tell you that much. It's December 23rd. That's good to know. 32 degrees. Feels like 26. Oh, it's updating. Oh, shit. It's 47 out. Feels like 43. Highs in the upper 40s and lows in the mid 20s. By, what is it? 2 a.m. 4 a.m. it'll be 27 degrees. And then on the warm up, looking at a cloudy day and a high of 40 on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, 37 and crap.
What's your dream car again?
I don't know, but I'm still alive though. Can I just wrap it up and then
5.7 V8. Other Infiniti.
a dream car? No, like a nice as like a LS4. No, a Lexus LS 460.
My dream would be the probably LC 200, the Land Cruiser, because it either came with the 4.0 V6 or the 4.6 to 5.7 V8.
Yeah, the iForce V8.
And a 4.5 liter turbo diesel.
Not here though in the States, correct. That was never sold here in the States.
Probably one of the best.
They are very cool.
I'd try to get one of the diesel ones.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I would love a Lexus with a SUV with a V8.
Lexus is too.
I would never take it off. I mean, they could take it off road. They're very capable. Yeah, they're identical.
This came with the 4.6 or the 5.7.
Same with the LS. Yep, the Lexus would have came with exact. It's just a fancier Toyota. That's all it is. Just like an Infiniti is just a fancier Nissan with a few traits that don't cross over. I think Stellantis owns Fiat. Fiat is done. Fiat, Fiat is owned by Stellantis. I'm almost positive. They're all in bed with each other. It's a big global orgy of cars and crap. A big global pile of garbage and a blender of dumpster food. So there's a nice conversation with an almost 13-year-old. All right, so yeah, it's warming up. BRM says the G56 is a tank. Yes, my son is just all over the board. Yesterday, he's like, "Dad, can we go to a Lexus dealer?" What dealer? A Lexus dealer. I said, for what does Lexus anywhere have other than a custodial position for me? Because I would never want to be a mechanic at a dealership ever again. And I wouldn't want to work on a car that I couldn't, not that it would be bad to work at a Lexus dealer, but I don't want to go there. They're all hybrided out by now and everything's all, no. And he's like, well, I really want one of the GS 500. Here's one for 30 grand. Would that be a good first car, Dad? No. First off, we can't afford it. Second off, even if we could afford it, I would drive it and not you. Third, it was 30 grand, bro. I'm not going to ever spend 30 G's on a car. Even if did anybody win the Powerball? Did anybody win the Powerball? Wasn't the drawing last night? Let me know in the chat if I could be your potential ticket out of debt. Only if I won the Powerball. All species are designed by the same designer. All mammals have same basic features. Some have special add-ons. Yep. Except the transmissions in Nissans are CVT in most cases. Yeah, and garbage. For the most part, unless you change the oil every 30K and don't beat on them too much. These have a pretty bulletproof. They used to have, I think, a 5-speed with overdrive, or a lockup, and now they're a 7-speed with lockup. And just from what I've experienced, a really good transmission. I'm hoping the kid didn't pound this one into the ground. But I'm certain it was parked because of the valves touching pistons and no compression. And the T cases in these things too are really durable. I've never, other than maybe a bulletin to replace some clutch packs in the earlier ones, there was something with the coupler or a clutch pack. That's about all I remember. Liberty 5-speed manual. Hell yeah, brother. Or Muncie 4-speed rock crusher. I don't know. That's what my dad always used to talk about. I'm kind of fond of a transmission that shifts when I want it to. Or whether that be manually or hydraulically. I love a good valve body. I like a good shift feel in an automatic transmission. but I also like popping the clutch in a really nice tight manual. So Marty JR says it looks like a deconstructed transformer. It really does when you break it all down. And it really is when you break it all down. It's just a bunch of pieces put together that when they're all assembled, and the timing, again, I always talk about timing in life. Timing and luck and not being completely stupid helps, but I think timing and luck play in a lot of things. And if the timing is off just a little bit on the engine, it's not going to run. So, but other than that, and the electronics too, you've got your electrical. That's funny. We've got to be a HVAC expert. We've got to know hydraulics. We've got to be experts in electronics and all the wiring that goes on it. And not only the HVAC, you've got just all the same components of a house, but it's all shoved into a car, much smaller, harder to work on in a sense, not maybe in other senses, but it's just funny that, and you also have to know mechanics really well and how all the integral mechanics work to be able to understand the process. You have an idea of where to go and what to look. It just dropped down to 1. I'm going to go, everyone. My son needs to go. Have a great day, Ford Moolah. Thanks for being in here. Appreciate it. Brown Chicken, Westy, Smokes Shop, BRM. Always good to see everybody in here. I appreciate it. Mr. Branch, appreciate you stopping by. My phone keep wigging out. Salty Badger, appreciate it. Whoa. Oh, I'm hitting them. All right, guys, I got to roll. Have a good day, everyone. We'll be back.